Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the Adidas Predator Absolado Instinct in the black and infrared colorway. Now inside the box, all you get are the shoes themselves. They do not come with any extras, so let me get these guys out of the box really quickly. And if you guys could take a second to leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. So here's a look at the Absolado model and the new Predator lineup. The top end Pred retails for $220. The Absolado model below that retails for $120 US, and the Absolado, which is the second takedown, has a retail price of $75 US. So while it isn't expensive, it isn't particularly affordable either. It is definitely more of a budget-oriented model. And a lot of you guys always ask me on the channel why I don't feature more takedowns, and the reasoning for that is because you can generally get better deals, better quality shoes below $100 than the current inline takedowns. Now in today's video, we are of course going to go over all the details and learn as much as we can about the overall performance and quality that the Absolado Instinct has to offer, but I'm also going to leave a link down below in the description to the super deals section on my website, where if you are on a bit of a budget, check that link out. It has all kinds of different buy it now links to all the best legitimate online retailers for different shoes that are on sale, older high-end models that are available well below the $100 price point. And again, if you are on a budget, don't just settle for inline takedown models, because especially if you're buying online, you might be surprised at what you can get for a $100 or a $75 budget. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. To start things off, let's just talk about the colorway and visual styling of the shoe. Now the colorway is of course the black and infrared like I mentioned. We're not going to talk about that too much, but as far as the visual styling of the shoe is concerned, I think that if you really are a boot enthusiast, if you will, then you're probably going to be able to pick out an Absolado pretty quickly. There is something that is a little bit off about the shape and the quality of the materials in comparison to the higher end models, even the Absolado for that matter. And again, while it doesn't look cheap, it definitely doesn't look premium either. So you do have that same kind of leather grain finish on the outside. You can see the Predator elements are present to a certain extent. They're not to the same extreme as what you're going to find on the higher end models, and we'll talk about that more a little bit later in the video. You can see they are translucent in color though. On the instep here, you don't have the gel pad like you're going to find on the top end model. And again, it has all the same elements as far as graphics are concerned. The Adidas stripes on the lateral and medial side. The tongue is made from a thicker, kind of more chunky material. So again, visually, that doesn't look quite as good as it could if it was a thinner, kind of more streamlined material. On the back, you will see that it actually does say Absolado as opposed to Predator or Absolado, like it will on the higher end models. And then moving on to the sole plate, again around the edges, you do have a variation of the control frame that you would find on the top end Predator Instinct, the teeth along the side, which gives it, again, that similar look. It's not the exact same shade of red because it's a solid plastic as opposed to more of a translucent color. And then it's a solid red sole plate with all those yellowish gold studs. So again, visually not exactly the same, but the overall styling is definitely very, very similar. And if you're looking for that Predator Instinct look, the Absolado Instinct is definitely going to provide that for you. While it may look the part, you're not going to get the same Predator playing experience from the Absolado model that you'd get from the Absolado or the top-end Instinct, and that has everything to do with the Predator lethal zones or the rubber elements scattered across the upper. Now one thing that is an improvement over previous Absolado models is that there are actually Predator elements made from a somewhat grippy material, as opposed to just being printed on the upper and not having any grip texturing to them whatsoever, like we saw from the Absolado variations for the LZ1 and the LZ2. Now in comparison, when I put it side by side with the top end Predator Instinct, you can see the Predator elements on the Absolado are much less significant, and that's simply because they're not even made from the same material. Top end Predator features a very soft, kind of grippy rubber material that really does grip the ball effectively, providing a ton of additional grip. Now with the Absolado model, it's more of a plasticky type of material. It does have a somewhat rubber-ish quality about it, and there is some extra grip here, but nowhere near to the same level that you're going to find on the top end Instinct or the first takedown Absolado, which feature pretty much the same very aggressive rubberized elements. So yes, you're going to get some of that extra grip with the Absolado model, but again, it's nowhere near what you're going to get from the higher end versions. So as far as the synthetic base is concerned, it's just an unnamed synthetic leather material. You can see it is relatively thick and chunky, which is kind of a common characteristic for shoes within this particular price point. Adidas takedowns, for the most part, are generally never the best when it comes to quality, and while these ones aren't terrible, it's certainly not their worst takedown model out there. The quality of the leather, or the synthetic material I should say, is okay. It's soft enough, but in terms of ball feel, like I said, it is on the clunky side. There's lots and lots of layers, so you're not going to get the best experience playing in the Absolado, in my opinion, especially if compared to the higher end models. You do have your off-centered lacing system, and again, a very, very chunky tongue, so something that I'm personally not a huge fan of. Same cut in the heel. You still have your internal plastic heel counter, and the heel liner, as you can see, is pretty much just a smooth synthetic material with a decent amount of padding, so step-in comfort should not be too much of an issue with this particular shoe. The insole is glued in, so it's technically non-removable. If you really wanted to, you could take it out and swap it out for something different, I suppose, but that's not something I'm going to do in today's video. I just kind of want to test them as they are from right out of the box. And then as far as the sole plate is concerned, again, it's not necessarily that same premium control frame that you're going to find on the top end Instinct. It definitely does appear to be a slightly thinner type of plastic. It's just not that same thing. It's hard to describe, but I think you guys know what I mean, in that the quality is just not up to par with that higher end model in comparison, although it is not bad. It's going to provide a very, very similar feel, I will give it that. And then of course you do have the same exact stud pattern, so again the traction performance should again be pretty similar between the Absolado and the rest of the Predator line. So that's pretty much it as far as tech specs go. Oh, then one more other thing I wanted to mention is a little passing pad here on the inside. It isn't gel, it's just like what you're going to find on the Absolado, in that it's kind of got that pressed out pattern where the gel pad would normally be, but again, there isn't actually any gel, which is no real big deal, because I honestly don't feel like the gel pad, even on the top end Instinct model, makes too much of a difference in terms of the overall performance. So now that is it as far as all the details are concerned on the Absolado. And next we'll move on to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are. As far as weight is concerned, the Absolado Instinct is very similar to the rest of the Predator line. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 9.8 ounces. So again, they're right around the 10 ounce mark, just like the rest of the Predator models. No big deal there. It's not a lightweight shoe like it used to be. But again, if you're buying a $75 budget price point shoe, weight is not really going to be a super big selling point of the model. It's more about having the look of that line as opposed to the major performance characteristics. So please keep that in mind if you are buying a $75 to $80 price point budget model. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion of the video goes, and move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course what the sizing is like. Alright, here's a look at the Absolados on feet, and I can't say I'm particularly pleased with how these things feel. They're very, very bulky, and there's something that just feels flawed about the overall fit. Something that I always have issues with Adidas takedown models is that it always seems like the heel fits a little bit too shallow, and that seems to be the case once again with the Absolado Instinct. It's almost like my heel is not sitting deep enough in the shoe, and it's almost like it's halfway popping out. I'm not sure what it is, what they do to their takedown models to give it this type of feel, but in comparison to the Absolado and of course the higher end Instinct model, it just doesn't feel very good at all. As far as the shape of the shoe is concerned, it does fit pretty good. I mean, it's a more snug fit in the midfoot than again the higher end models for whatever reason, and the fit in the forefoot and toe box is also pretty good. It's a similar shape to what you're going to find from the rest of the Predator line. It's just that fit in the heel that really throws off everything with this particular shoe, in my opinion. As far as the sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit to length is absolutely perfect. So if you are planning on ordering a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size for the best possible fit. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing of the Predator Absolado Instinct. if I'm completely honest, there really isn't anything that is particularly special about this shoe. If you're looking for the feel of the higher end Predator models, this really isn't going to deliver that, other than maybe the stud pattern. The fit is, like I mentioned, slightly flawed in my opinion and just doesn't feel very good. And overall, for $75, you're getting an okay shoe, but really nothing more than that. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're on a budget, especially at the $75 price point, it's not a small amount of money. You have to explore all of your options on what is available, what's on sale at that point in time, and more often than not, if not 100% of the time, you can always find a better value for your money, a better quality shoe for your $75 in this particular situation. So yes, this is an okay option, but certainly not one that I would settle for, and certainly not a shoe that I personally recommend buying. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. If you have any questions at all regarding the Absolado or suggestions for any other takedown models you'd like to see featured on the channel, be sure to leave your questions down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. As far as the full written review is concerned, I'm not sure that I'm going to do one on the Absolado, but I will be doing a line comparison of the entire Predator Instinct lineup very, very soon, so look forward to that. In the meantime, though, if you want to check out the review page on my website, there is a link down below in the description. You will find the high quality images of the shoe that'll give you a better idea as to how they actually do look in person, as well as buy it now links if you are really interested in a pair of these for yourself, along with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you can pick them up below their $75 retail price. So check that out. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.